So cool testimonies from yesterday. On my way to work, felt led to call a friend of mine who's struggling in her marriage, and was able to really encourage her and spur her on to, love her husband as she's been commanded to in the scriptures, and pray with her, and then had a meeting at my first meeting with this homeowner. Went in and really discerned right away. I just felt like he was hurting physically, and I'm at work, and so I've never met this guy before, and I'm in his house, and just having him sign these papers. He invites me in, and we sit down at the table, and he invites me to look at. I was having him sign these papers that were signing off on these tickets of line items that were supposedly finished in regards to his warranty, and he then invites me into his kitchen to show me these kind of pock marks on his countertop, and I noticed there's like a hospital bill there, and so that kind of confirms that something's going on. I don't know, it could have been his wife, I didn't know at the time. And then we go back and sit down, and I share with him something, and we're talking about love. Somehow we get on the topic of love, and he says, yeah, just like love in 1 Corinthians 13, and I'm like, oh, so are you a believer? And he's like, yeah, absolutely, I have faith. And so then I say, it's funny, this is coming up, not coincidentally, and I just ask him if there's something going on with him physically. I'm like, I just felt like when I came in the door that there's something physically going on with you. And he said, yeah, I'm going to the doctor's next week for my back, and I'm going to be having back surgery again. And so I said, well, do you mind if I pray for you? I'm like, no. And I said, do you mind if I put my hand on his back? And he's probably like he's probably like 68, 70 years old. He's an older gentleman. He says, no problem. So I lay hands on his back, and he wasn't like, there's a burning sensation in my back, I'm healed. But I believe he is healed, praise God. And regardless, he definitely, I prayed over his back, but then I was talking to him about, again, just trying to, was listening to the Spirit, and was praying over him and his wife and his children, and he had tears in his eyes when I left, and he just said, thank you so much for the spiritual uplifting, for the encouragement spiritually. So I leave there, and then I get a call later from the woman's husband that I talked to in that morning, who was just calling to, I'd called him a while back, and he was calling to return the call, and we were able to talk, and I was able to encourage him and spur him on to humility and love for his wife, and so it was kind of neat. And then went to the store, was going to have lunch, and was in the store and just felt led to, this woman passed me by, and I just felt, as I'm praying for people as they're around me, I felt like, the Lord was like directing me to her. Like there's just a feeling you get, because I passed probably 15 people in that supermarket, but this woman specifically, I felt the Lord say she's just under it. And so I'm like, okay, but I was going the opposite direction. So I said, bring me around to her, Lord. And so I came around and was looking in the aisles and how to get one other thing in the supermarket. And in that aisle, she was in there. And so I went in the aisle, and there was a woman in the aisle, and then it was her. And then what I was looking for, shampoo, was right next to her. And so I'm like, Lord, kind of make a way where this other woman's not in the picture, unless you obviously want her there. And no sooner I said that, she vanished. So I went over to this woman and said, I really feel like the Lord has led me to you, and that that you're really under it, that you really got some burdens. And she kind of chuckled, and I said, do you mind if I pray for you? And she's like, no, please do. And again, tears, I left her with tears in her eyes, just praying, words of life over her, the truth of the gospel, which is that Jesus' burdens are light and his yoke is easy, and that she has nothing to fear, and that God is in control, and other things that I prayed over her. But that's some cool stuff that happened yesterday.